Hey, Andre, and welcome to take 3 of this goddamn video. Um, I'm gonna start by going through the things I don't have, and then we will get into the things that I do have, and hopefully that'll make grading a little bit easier for you. Let's go down the list, and I will point out the things that I don't have. I don't have a smoke trail. I have something that demonstrates a similar processing ability for recycling things, but I don't have a smoke trail or the predictive uh, thing, the predictive trail. Don't got that. Pigs and birds do not have a sprite change based on their damage level. That's just not a thing I've implemented. I didn't do the optional weaker from below for the pigs with helmets. I don't got no sound, which might be a mercy on you, but is going to be some points off for me. Yep. And then the other thing that you'll notice very quickly is that my game is not super polished. Um, in the past 48 hours, I realized that I was doing all of my visitor pattern incorrectly, and nothing was working, and I couldn't figure out why. And it was because my double dispatch was all messed up. And I didn't have nearly enough functions in my double dispatch in my contact action. So now I have a 748 line contact pair thing. This could have been done much more efficiently, but I eventually just had to get literally everything into this file so that I could have a prayer of making everything work. And it does, kind of. So here are the keys that you can use to work through my project. 1 through 4 are going to get you 4 different levels. 7 through 9 are going to give you 3 different testing levels that are going to demonstrate punch, the 3 different kinds of punch. And then also you can play with some of the bird abilities in there. Home is going to reset a level completely. R is going to reload a bird. Or if you're out of birds, wow, gravity took hold there. It's going to give you a red bird. Let's go see what happened. Amazing. What's the other one? Shift. Shift is going to give you your debug. I need to be up higher. There we go. And that is all that. Let's play the game. Hacha. Excellent. Level 2 is starting pretty shakily. Oh, it's missing its little thing. Sometimes this one loads in strangely. There we go. So that pig just needs to be there. There's that. He's just going to roll until he gets out of bounds. So I'm going to stop him just by reloading. Probably fix that by adding in more updates, but that's just a thing for me, I guess. Oh, come on. Yes! Haha! He was impaled. Wonderful. Ferris wheel level has 3 fun new birds. The way I envision this is you send the white bird over. Yeah. Unfortunately, that knocks that down. Green bird can go through. Ooh, and he goes that way. Too high. And then the yellow bird can come through and... Wow, okay, jeez. Come back. Come back. He must have gotten a bad hit there. Okay, great. Can you... Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. That's fine. They really should not be doing that, but... if you are trying to navigate through my... This is crazy, I'm just showing you things that are wrong with my project. But they're not, it's just the red bird. Oh my gosh, Andre, I'm so upset. And I have so much to do. This is crazy. See, they die. They fall out. I don't even know what that was. You gotta believe me, Andre, I promise. To move the camera there. Look, it works. Oh my god, I'm so mad. If your camera gets stuck in a weird place, if you spam the R key, you'll get back. I'm sorry. Look! Oh, that was amazing. Okay, sorry. I haven't set it up to go the right way. This is level 4, so I just hit 4 for this. And it's some helmet boys. Lovely. Are we gonna come back? Oof. Oh, okay, I see. I see what happened. Please. Get rid of you. Oh my gosh. So it goes. Hopefully the crashes will be minimal. But to demonstrate that one again, it does split into 3. And then most of the time it works. Look at that. Look at that. I think that was everything. I think that was all of them. Yeah, it was. So the other abilities that we didn't see here were the punch through abilities. This is where I messed up last time. They should work now. So it was kind of hard to tell there, but the bluebirds are punching through the glass. If I can do it, I should be able to do it with 1, I think. Yeah, see, it punched through that first one pretty deftly. So the same thing should work with this yellow. Bye-bye. It made it through about 2. And the same thing should work with this red. Come on. Yeah. Made it through. Wonderful. Excellent. And then for funsies, because I don't think I actually put in a bombird. This is the bombird. If you click, he explodes. Wow. So cool. I love it. And then if he also, when he hits something, he gets primed, and then after 3 seconds, he goes, oh, he fell asleep. I told you it wasn't polished. Okay, come on. Come on. Give me something. Give me something good. Give me something good. Come on. Come on. Yeah! It does. It explodes. So that is that. We have gone over all the bird abilities. They are all there. I really want to make the green bird spin around, but I didn't have the time. Let's dive into the blocks really quick. And then maybe I'll go back into the birds, talk about them a little bit more in depth. All of the blocks have a health value. The health values are different for different kinds of blocks. Glass block is 200. Max health is 100. I'm pointing with my finger. I'm going to stop. Don't ask me how stone got to 200. What is 1? Oh, what is 1? Glass is 75. Okay, phew, goodness. And then stone is 200. So they're different in that way. They all have different values. These are the ones that I could best, they felt the best to me when I was playing. I still don't think they're great. It's been difficult to find things that really truly emulate the original game, but this is what I found that works for me. So I have 10 and 10 for the stone. I have 7 and 5 for the wood. Someone just yelled in my apartment. And then for glass, I seem to have a much higher friction. Ignore that. You know what? That was always 3 and 1. So you can take that right to the bank. Yeah. So yes. Anything else interesting here? I did have to modify my factory. I do have a factory that makes all my blocks for me. It's a big ass switch statement, so that's fun. The circle blocks are made with a different constructor. So if we jump into here, we see circles don't have a rotation. I don't give it to them. I don't allow them to have it. And then it just makes them into a circle, a big old circle. I have to change this twice. That was there the whole time. You didn't see me change anything. So those are the blocks. Let's jump into the birds really quick. So red bird's pretty normal. It doesn't do anything special. That's for Pig Ninja. The bluebird has a container class. The container has 3 bluebirds. The container is also a bird object. It derives from that. And that's how it interacts with the gameplay manager. It's almost every single function. Every bird function is overridden in that container class, and it allows the container to manage the 3 birds. So that's how that works. When the action button is clicked, you get a bunch of stuff happens. They fly out at precisely calculated angles, and they all get punch modes. So that's fun for them. The blackbird, I don't know why I couldn't get a sensor until literally yesterday. It was finally when I was able to make a sensor. That one's running on a state machine. That's for the difference between regular and primed. And then there's a timer command, which for the explosion, and a despawn command, which relays back to the gameplay manager that some time has passed after the explosion, and it's time to go on to the next bird. The explosion is a sensor. It exists for 1 frame, and then it deletes itself. I believe that's it for this one. This is how I'm taking care of my timer commands. I don't know if that's important to you. I had to override this function. I had to make this function, and that's just so I can clean up my timer things. If there's anything interesting in here, you can look in the blackbird. The big red bird doesn't do anything special, but it does have the punch, which is very simple. It's pretty much straight from the slides. The yellow bird, all that it does, interesting, is that when you do the action button, it gets a linear impulse. The white bird, on the action button, it spawns an egg. We push the bird up pretty fast. We change the bird's sprite, and then we communicate back to the gameplay manager about stuff. And then the egg, if the egg gets damaged in any way, so if it hits anything, it becomes exploded, and then it explodes. So that's fun. Green bird was so much fun. I also have this one on the state machine. It just seemed pretty easy. So just whenever it's in its backward state, it gets the reverse force. And then that lasts until its timer command is exhausted. So those are the birds. The pigs, I will prove to you right now that these pigs are different. We have Helmet Pig. Helmet Pig has 125 health. Small Pig has 75 health. They are different. So that's that. One of them will live longer than the other one. And they blink. The blinking is on this state machine. I could have randomized it. I haven't revisited it. I haven't revisited it since I made it week 2 or 3. But this is the same kind of thing that I can. This would have been easier with a timer command, I'm going to be honest. But that's before we had those. And this is the kind of system that I would have used for the idle animations for the birds, and for the chattering and for the sound effects. I would have put them all into similar machines like this, where after a random amount of time, you get put into a random state. So this is my chatter state. This is my do a flip state. I jump up and down. So if I had had time to do that, that is where that would have been housed, or would have worked very similarly. My levels are wider than the 800 and 600 window. You can see that because the camera move. One of them has a Ferris wheel. You saw that. They all have more than 12. They all have more than 2 to 3 pigs. And they have a long queue. You've seen the slingshot. You saw the background image, even though I use it pretty poorly, but I won't even talk about it. You've seen the slingshot functionality. It works, it's great. You saw the health system. You saw the cycling damage. It's in that video, I promise. You saw the camera. When the camera is not following something, you can move it with the arrow keys. So yes, fixture shapes. You saw the box and circle for that. Birds and pigs do use circle fixtures. You can verify that. And they are. So how long have I been going for? Great, it doesn't tell me. Let me tell you very quickly about the systems that I'm using, because I think that they're very interesting and I'm really happy with how they turned out. In earlier videos, I was talking about how, I don't have like a lot to show for this week, but I have this system that I've built up, and I think it's really going to help me. Like, I won't have to do anything else for my levels. I will just have to build the towers and like load up the birds. And while I had more bug fixing than I thought I would have to do, my systems really did work like that. All that I've done for the past 2 hours, besides maybe bug fixing, is just, oh, well, how can I make an interesting tower? Boop, 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 put in all my blocks, done. I have a tower. So, and a completely new level. So that's been really cool to have. And that is all here in gameplay. Let's go through the game manager really quick. There's a ton of public shit in this gameplay manager. Basically the gameplay manager has an active bird and a queue of birds, and there's a system of callbacks where when the active bird has been launched and has been processed, somehow a callback gets back to the gameplay manager, and then the gameplay manager cleans up what it needs to clean up, and then shuffles along the next bird, and does all that kind of stuff. Here's my big ass controller. It's fun. It's really not fun. But it controls the game. That's not what I wanted to show you. What I wanted to mention was this. I think really encapsulates the strategy pattern. This game, nope, come on, this bird controller. I have one controller for the entire game. So instead of what happens is when there's an active bird, it's put into its active state. The birds have a lot of control states. And the gameplay manager will then assign the bird to be controlled by the controller and vice versa. And then when it's time for the control to go to a different object, it unassigns it from one bird and reassigns it to another bird. So that seems pretty strategy-y to me, moving the controls from having the birds being able to be controlled by different strategies, where the two strategies in this case are by the mouse or by nothing, or by the physics engine. 3 strategies. Amazing. Anything else interesting in here that I want to point out? I don't think so. My camera stuff is really bad. I would say. This is the reason that you have to press R so many times to get the camera back to normal, is because I'm putting it into a seek state, and then updating it and then setting it to a keyboard, and that just doesn't do it well enough. So there's some more flaws in my code. I'll see if I can point out any more fun ones for you. Let's look at cursor, switch level, valid player, reset, reload. Yeah, nothing super interesting there. But let's get down into, these are the functions we're going to be looking at. The things that happen we do an init manager, and then we do an init level, which is going to take a level and start it. And that's really fun. I really like this. So we have the concept of a level, which has a load, a clean, and a get next. So there's a few fun things going on here. And if we look into level 2, is probably gonna make my head hurt. But it looks like this, and then on the inside, oh no, this one looks so clean too. We give it a structure, and we give it the birds that we want to play with, and what we want to go to next, and that's all that happens in a level. It works really well. I've had any troubles with this system in particular, but that's how I make a level. The things that go under that, of course, are the structures, and then if we look into Tower 1-9 is where it's really going to be bad. So this one, again, has build, structure, build level is an internal thing, and then the position, and then you have all the construction is encapsulated into this structure, so I can reuse the structure in as many levels as I want it to. But and it's all stored in there. This is the Ferris structure. If you want to know how the circles are made, block type circle. I just place it right on top right there, and that's that. I think that's it for my towers. That was really helpful for me. That system, since I decided not to use scenes, I hadn't done any testing on them, and this seemed easier and cleaner. So everything happens in one scene. Other than that, that's the most interesting system I think that I have. I've gone over everything that I have and don't have in this document. I'm just trying to see if I have anything else that's interesting that I would like to talk about. If you're looking for this, everything happens in assignment 9. You don't have to change anything. Everything should be able to be done by the keyboard. Oh, the factory, lovely. So I made this before you introduced the idea of, or before you introduced recycling objects. And this is my take on recycling an object. So this is a smoke puff. It has an initialize, which takes the position. I don't really care about the rotation of this effect. And it seems pretty straightforward here. I did have to hijack some systems to get this to work. So to get this working, I snag the physics update, which is what happens in the update loop, and I force it to be at this position. Oh, and I'm using my own flag to do the update. So then I turn off the should update when it's not being used. So this, what I've created here, is still going to be very taxing on the physics engine, because it's still going to be, oh no, this in particular is not going to be taxing on the physics engine because it never interacts with it. This is just on the main gameplay loop. But still, it's always getting updated. It just has a flag that says it shouldn't. So it's not the smartest way to have done. It's not the correct way to have done it, but I did it. And then this is just the regular factory. Look, it has your name on it because I used it. Your design. And then I get rid of all of them at the end, which is why they're cleaned up. I'm really scared to try and demonstrate that my thing cleans up properly. It does. It usually does, but this is where I can eat my words. Look, I'm going back and forth from level to level. Amazing. I really don't want to have to restart the video. Please be nothing. Yes! My memory is mostly clear. There's a few scenarios where sometimes something will go wrong. But such is life for a developer. Please. I'm sure you'll play around with this more than I will. Please. Yes! Great. I did make it a priority to try and keep my memory as clear as possible. The Ferris wheel is the hardest one to take care of, and the Ferris wheel, as you just saw, does clean up. Um, I've done the math. I should have been able to pass with this score. I really hope that I do. If not, please let me know. Um, and I'm sorry that this is turned in a little bit late. And now I'm off to go write a web server. Um, Also, I will email you, but I would love to have my family meet you after graduation. But I'll send you an email about that. Thank you so much. Have fun grading.